the next topic is aggregate functions. So this is one of the built-in concept in a structured query language. So when coming to this aggregate functions, so it is used when information you want to extract from a table that has to do with the data in the entire table taken as a set. So that means here we are going to give multiple rows as an input, and we are going to get a single row as an output. So here the aggregate functions are used in place of column names in the select statement or select clause. So basically we are having 5 aggregate functions in structured query language. So we'll see one by one. The first one is a sum of, average of, max of, min of, and the final one is a count of. So you can see here the basic syntax is here. The first one, sum of. So within the brackets, so you can write we need to specify the column name. So here you can see there is a distinct, so it is an optional. So if you want to retrieve only unique column values, then we go for this distinct. So it's an optional which has been written in a square shape. So if you remove this distinct and simply if you write sum of the column name, so it is going to add all the repeated values, all the duplicate values also it is going to add, and it will give you a single value. If you are using distinct keyword, so whatever the repeated values are there, whatever the duplicate values are there, all these duplicate values also will be summed up, and you are going to get the output. The same case in the average also. Here we are going to find average of a specific column. So if you want average of marks, then only the particular marks column it will take, and it will give you give the average value of the particular marks or attendance or anything, whatever the column name you are going to specify here. And now here if you want to retrieve a minimum value in that particular column, so I want to retrieve a minimum marks in a particular subject in some other out of a class of students 60. So here I'll write I'll specify min of marks. So it will give me the minimum marks scored in that particular section. Maximum marks, it will give you a maximum marks scored in that particular section. And here we have two different ways we can specify this count function. So count the column name. So when we give count column name, so it is going to filter the null values. It is not going to consider the null values in that particular column name. So only that whatever the values are there, only those values will be counted here. And when coming to this count star, so here irrespective of the null values, it is going to count all the rows. So now if I want to find what are the total number of rows in a particular table, then it will just count all the rows, which includes null values also. But whereas in the above query, the above syntax, so it will filter, it will not consider null values, only values that we have stored will be treated, and it will count and give us an output. So the first aggregate function is min. So this min function returns the smallest value that occurs in the specified column. And there is another point here. So column need not be numeric type. Need not be numeric type. So I will take a small query here. List the minimum unit price from the item table. So we will see here how we are going to write this query. Select min of unit price. So this is the column name which we need to specify. Now in this So your DBMS is going to consider this unit price column, and it will see what is the minimum value in this column, and it will return a single value output. The next one is max. So this function returns the largest value that occurs in the specified column. So here also, so there is no need to so column need not be a numeric type here. So I will see a small example here. So list the maximum unit price from the item table. So select max of total available balance in dollars from customer table, that is customer transaction. So in this column name, so what is the maximum value which we have, that maximum value will be displayed. Average. So this function, it returns the average of all the values in the specified column. So column must be numeric data type. Column must be numeric data type. List the average unit price of class A items in the item table. So the question is, list the average unit price of class A items in the item table. So now here first I need to filter all the items which belongs to class A. Only class A items I need to retrieve, and on these values I am going to perform average function. See the example here. Select average of unit price from item where class is equal to A. So if I don't specify this where condition, then what is going to happen here? So I am going to get a unit price for all the items that are available in the table. So if I specify the where condition, that is class is equal to A, so it will take only class A items and it will perform average on these class A items only. The next one is a sum function. So this function adds up the values in the specified column. Here also columns must be numeric data type. So if you have numeric and varchar, so we cannot add. So that's why we require only numeric data type. So value of the sum must be within the range of that data type. So now we'll see one small question here. List the minimum and sum of all the unit of items in the item table. So here at a time two functions also we can use here. So select minimum in unit price. So what is the minimum value in unit price, and the other one is the sum of all the unit prices. So in that in this unit price, whatever the values are there, all these values will be summed up, and it will display two values here in a single row only. In a single row only you will be having min value as well as sum value. So this will consider the minimum value in this column, and so this function will retrieve the total sum of unit prices in the particular column. And the next one is count. So here, as I told you, we have two ways we can define this one: count star and count with a specific column name. See the first one, the count. So generally it returns the number of rows in the table. So with the count star, what are the output we are going to get? We'll see. List total number of items in the item table. Total number of items. Select count star from item. So irrespective of the null values, so it is going to retrieve all the records. So if I have 20 records, all the 20 records will be retrieved. So if you take another example here, list total number of customers who have their date of registration information in the customer table. So some people may not be registered, and some may be registered here. So I want to know all the customers who have registered. So select count of date of registration from customer. See here, count of column name. So it retrieves number of rows so that do not have null value. So here some customers may not be registered and some customers may be registered out of 20 rows. So out of 20 records, so only 10 members may be registered and 10 may not be registered, and your output will be only 10. But whereas when you take this one, so when you want total number of items in the item table, then it is going to retrieve 20. But whereas here it is going to filter all the null values and it will give you non-null values. So that is about count star and count of specific column name. So another name here, select count of distinct bill date. So distinct bill date means, so here whatever the duplicates are there, so sometimes the bill dates may be repeated. So in a single day you may have number of you may be having number of bills generated. So here in this question, list total number of unique dates on which bill has been generated. So you are going to get only unique bill dates. So bill date will not be repeated here. And here we have student marks table, a small exercise for you. So so here we have various columns, that is student ID, course ID, date of exam, project marks, assignment marks, internal marks, and semester marks, and their grades. So if you take this small exercise, so we'll see how to write a queries on this table. So the first query here is find the minimum end semester marks from the table. So now here minimum value from which column? End semester marks. See here there is an end semester marks. So out of these values, so you need to pick up a minimum value. The minimum value is a 15. Your output will be 15. That is this value. Only 15 will be retrieved. And the maximum, if you take maximum value, if I want to retrieve, your output will be this one, 60, which is a maximum out of these values. So now when we take this average internal marks of course ID C001, so here there is a condition here. So I need to pick up only these C001 records and then I need to perform average. See here how you are going to do. So there is C001 and here there are two records here. Now I am going to perform average on these two records only, that is on internal marks. So 5 plus 8 is 13 and you will be getting 7 as an output. Okay. So average is not going to perform on all these values. Why? Because so here there is a condition, that is where in the where condition we have to write course ID is equal to C001. So it is going to take only these two and remaining values will be removed. Find the sum of all the assignment marks of course ID C001. Now I need to filter, I need to consider only C001 course and I need to perform sum. See here, so again I will take C001 and 001. So only these two assignment marks I need to take, and I need to add these two, 5 plus 10, that is 15. The output will be 15. So if I want to have C004 assignment marks, C004 is there and here C004 is there. So here 10 and here is 10. 10 plus 10, 20 will be your output. And the last one here is count the number of A grade from the table. So I want to count only A grade students. So here there are all different grades we have, A, B, C, D, etc. So now I want to pick up only A grade. My condition here is where grade is equal to A. So only these records will be filtered. So we will be written A, and A. How many are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your output will be 5. The count will be 5. That means 5 students have secured A grades. So this is all about aggregate functions.